Jackson Hanahan, a first year that Harvard really likes, and Andrew McMeekin was 55% last year, had a great game against Harvard. 20 of 29 last year, a goal, a caused turnover. It's a rivalry that dates back to the early 1880s, the 90th meeting between Princeton and Harvard, and this is a critical one. Two top 15 teams. Harvard 1-0 in the Ivy League after a victory against Yale, and Princeton number 1 in the first RPI that came out this week. There's a bouncer, comes in from Mackesy, and an early save by Stevens. Harvard's got a dynamic attack, a senior, a junior, and a sophomore, and King, Malone, and Spidell, and they run a lot of bodies out there in the midfield. Logan Ip, Andrew Perry, Francisco Cortez, the starting midfield. That one draws the pipe, kicks out to the midfield, and picked up by Perry with a fresh shot clock.
We have the opportunity and the potential for an outstanding goalie matchup today. Croddick has had an outstanding season. Goalie was probably the question mark position for Princeton coming in after losing Michael Gianfrancaro, and Harvard starting a freshman. Both performing well as Croddick gets another save, 2 early ones for number 26.
You talked about Harvard being the most efficient offensive team in the country. They've scored on 39% of their possessions. Shooting 36%, that's top 10 in the country. Stepping into it stick side high, that one flew in.
Distance, we've seen that game in and game out this season, so Harvard's gonna have to get inside.
3 early saves on the Princeton end by Ryan Croddick, and now finally a settled offensive possession. Shot on the move, bouncer, stick on the rebound. Stevens has it.
You know, as veterans, as Tewarton hopefuls, they're doing the little things. They're not just worried about the stat sheets, you know, the ones that pop out, the goals and the assists. They're doing the little things, and when you have your best player doing those little things, as Croddick gets another save, we're gonna get a believe in the crease to get into that Ivy League tournament. A couple years ago, we saw teams make the NCAA tournament after not making the conference tournament.
Princeton in the Final Four year.
Yep.
2022, Harvard qualified for the NCAA tournament that year as well.
You see 5 ranked teams, and Dartmouth and Coach Kerwin, the turnaround has been drastic. It's been quick.
Turning the corner, Spidell cracks the goose egg and gets Harvard on the scoreboard right out of the Princeton timeout.
Tremendous job by Harvard drawing up the X's and O's during that timeout. Leaning on 3, 190. Makes you guess. You don't know where that shot's coming from when he crosses goal line extended, and it's just a straight line into the spot. Almost a no-look. Shovels it in past Croddick. Princeton's gotten their possessions, 2 of them off of the face-off, as Kabiri almost gets stripped behind the cage against a short stick.
Andrew Glinsky jousted it away. Princeton's got the backup.
That's a matchup. Kabiri, if he gets that short stick behind the cage, the slide doesn't come above goal line extended. He's got to take that shot every time.
Mackesy, the Tewaaraton nominee, and then Burns and Kabiri, 2 top 10 recruits, but it's Palumbo turning the corner and tying it at 1. Chad Palumbo got off to a little bit of a the Tigers' assist leader pretty much the entire season. Really put the foot on the accelerator, 4 late goals in the win at North Carolina, and he ties it up here.
Yeah, he got going down there in Chapel Hill against his old foe.
Keep an eye on number 21, Carson Kramer, 6'5", 245 pounds.
Yeah, he can let it fly. It can be a little bit erratic at times, but if it's on the cage, it's a tough one to stop.
Kramer, we just talked about his older brother, Quinn Kramer. Carson missed all of last year with an injury, and Graham Stevens just took one away. Peter Bonanno, top 10 recruit, a freshman. His older sister, Kari Bonanno, one of the better players in recent memory for the women's lacrosse program here at Princeton. There's a shot from up top, and the second in a row for Chad Palumbo. Showing off the full skill set, and the Tigers with back-to-back goals have a 2-1 lead here in the first.
Great job by Palumbo of using the defender as a screen. I don't know how good an eye Stevens got on this ball because Palumbo shoots through traffic.
Freshman, so a young, talented midfield unit. Here's Tucker Wade, the big sophomore, trying to draw the defense out. Now Kabiri.
Now you're talking about the Harvard defense playing a lot.
How about that feed from Burns? On a rope for Tucker Wade, 3 in a row for the Tigers.
Talk about possessions. Princeton didn't have the ball. All of a sudden, they have a couple in a row and 3 goals to show for it. And making it look easy, a decisive pass to the doorstep, and Tucker Wade puts it home.
Great roll dodge inside, just couldn't get the angle.
Mackesy was known as such a set shooter with the left hand early in his career, and he has the stats to show for it. But what we've seen this year with the creative, crafty play in towards the crease, he's done the Superman dive multiple times this year. His game is on another level, and Princeton is on a roll.
Third different goal scorer gives the Tigers their 4th in a row. That's John Dunphy, the junior from Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Talk about efficient offense. That's in the Tiger column right now. All that Harvard possession, just 1 goal to show for it, and the Tigers putting on a show. Sticks up in the passing lane by Princeton. Again, taking it back to basics. One of the first things you learn as a defender. Good things happen.
Elevated pass, bouncer out to the midfield. Here's Francisco Cortez, gets bottled up. Didn't have any room to operate. Stahl had it. Now Kistler feeds up ahead. Cooper Miller. 20 seconds to go. Tons of athleticism for Miller. Over to Mackesy and the worm burner to make it 5 in a row for Princeton. 5 goals by 4 different players. And the Tigers go up 5-1 here late in the first.
We took that commercial earlier. We're going to break. We talk about 11 shots for Harvard, just 3 for Princeton. Now it's 13-13. That is the pace with which Lacrosse can change.
Princeton couldn't get the defense off the field over the first 6 minutes. Peter Bonanno, number 12, getting his first career start, running with the top midfield. Palumbo in traffic. Puts it on the turf. Harvard coming back the other way with their top defensive midfielder in Ray Dirth, the senior. Really the highlight of the year offensively for the Tigers. There have been a lot. It was probably that Chad Palumbo goal, truck stick goal against North Carolina as Croddick jumps the pass. Owen Gaffney carries below goal line extended. Now Spidell, who has the lone Harvard goal. Skip pass across the crease. There's Sam King behind the back to break the drought. What a goal by number 7. That's his 24th of the season, and that snaps a 5-0 Princeton run.
Heads up play by Harvard, quite literally. Keep your head up, look for your teammates. Easy dump off as the slide leaves King on the crease. There's nobody to replace that defender. That's the last guy you want to leave alone on the doorstep. Can't leave Sam King alone.
The face-off violation against McMeekin gives possession back to the Crimson, who have cut it to 3. Top midfield out there, Perry and Cortez. Turning the corner, Spidell sneaks it right past Stevens, or rather Croddick. Back-to-back goals. Here come the Crimson early in the second quarter. Second of the day for Spidell.
Now you're seeing what Harvard does with possessions. Spidell, quick split, leaves the short stick in the dust, and then he's just playing with Croddick, a couple of stick fakes. Natural attackman. Palumbo's got that attack style to him. Put that on display against North Carolina in a big way.
Feed across, Kabiri, Stevens takes another one away. Back-to-back goals by Harvard. Ball down on the turf. Arendt loses it. Tigers have a beat. It's Bath, the all-conference defenseman, and now Jackson Green takes a tumble, draws the flag. 2 teams that don't commit a lot of penalties, but it looks like the Tigers will go man up for the first time. 32nd man up, and Princeton has statistically the top man up unit in the country. The Tigers 8 for 11 this season with the extra man. Saris is in there. That's his 3rd man up tally of the season, and it gives the Tigers the 3-goal lead back. Took them all of 10 seconds to make it 9 for 12 this year.
It seems like we say Braden Saris' name every game, and he's really on the field during those man-up situations. It's because of how efficient they are with an extra man. Brilliant X's and O's by Jim Mitchell and company to take advantage of the advantage. And as you said, Princeton makes it look easy to get it back to a 3-goal lead here at home. It really has, and it really shows how hard it is to guard the Princeton Tigers, because it's not just, even like Nate Kabiri, you could say slow start, I guess. What a shot by Harvard, right down the middle.
Owen Gaffney running out of the box. Harvard gets one back midway through the second quarter. 7th of the season for the senior from Los Angeles, who missed all of last season with an injury.
Great job by Gaffney, taking what the defense gave him, which was just green grass. Beats Craddock to the top right corner.
Nate Kabiri last year, 57 points, second amongst Division I freshmen. Virginia's Millen McCabe led the nation. Kabiri, Burns, Mackesy, 2 sophomores and a senior on the attack. Feed down low, Mackesy. Turn the corner, Stevens right there to meet him. Save number 7 for the Harvard first year. Some injuries to Joe Youngerkiss, Paul Wethington, and Green, a guy who's probably played less lacrosse than he has the other 2 sports he played, football and basketball.
Yeah.
Really impressed by the stick skills.
The stick skills, he's an impact player. I mean, he has sealed victories for Princeton. When they were down
those
in
2
the
games
research,
down, yeah.
Correct, in the research triangle playing against Duke and North Carolina, they had to run out the clock. They went to number 4, and he got it done.
Here's Bonanno, the lefty. Drops down a little bit and nails his 2nd career goal to give the Tigers the 3-goal lead.
Great job by the camera crew of finding the family that quickly. The Bonanno family celebrating the Bonanno goal. Great job. Little stick fake. Throws the defense off just enough. Goalie, too, to get the hands free. Maybe held that slide from coming just that second.
That's their 5th failed clear after they started the game 1 for 4.
Yeah, they got their feet under them after really struggling, but it's not easy against the Harvard Crimson.
There's a shot bounced, may have been deflected. Long Karam out to the perimeter for King, who's been somewhat quiet today. King 1 goal, 1 point on just 5 shots. He's got 17 points in 3 career games against the Tigers. Shot block, think that got Bath in the back, comes out to the wing. Craddock goes down low to make the save on that shot from the midfield, and Owen Gaffney trying to get the 4-goal lead back.
Yeah, it's kind of that 1-minute offense. There were 2 minutes on the game clock, 1 minute on the shot clock, and hands free for 91. Good job getting that deflected by the Harvard Crimson. That is Coulter Mackesy's shot.
Coulter Mackesy shot totals in 3 games against Harvard. 10 as a freshman, 17, I believe that's a career high as a sophomore, and then 11 last year. Tucker Wade coming near side, turns the corner, and Wade's got his 2nd to give the Tigers the 4-goal lead back.
What can you say about Tucker Wade? I mean, just Mr. Reliable this year at the midfield. Gets the start today for good reason. Makes this one look easy. He's made 2 of his goals today look relatively routine.
Quickly through Cameron, now Kabiri trading spots with Burns. Those 2 high school teammates, 6th year playing together. Nate Kabiri, short stick matchup, somehow gets above goal line, extended, sticks it in, and Princeton's got their largest lead of the contest at 9-4.
That's just something that comes with reps, and you see Kabiri do it over and over in his 1.5 years on the field in Division I lacrosse. He's not above goal line extended. It's unbelievable. Believe me, but between Princeton and Harvard, I am the worst at math.
Early in the 3rd quarter here in front of a packed house at Sherrod Fields. Great discipline by the Crimson. There's a shot that whistles wide by Perry in the midfield. Perry, the junior from Franklin, Massachusetts. High school teammates with Peter Bonanno and Moses Brown. Sam King, feet out in front, tic-tac-toe, and the Crimson on the scoreboard for the first time in the 2nd half. Princeton shutting down Sam King, the goal scorer, but give number 7 the assist to make it a 4-goal game.
Take another look. King fell down after he set the pick. He gets it inside, and it looked like it was Logan Ip on the doorstep. Couldn't see the number for a while there.
Ip holds, raised the arm, called it out. Teddy Malone, the attackman, out by the restraining line. Up top, here's Ip. Ip working on Zach Friedman with the pole, the shot, and back-to-back goals by Logan Ip. 2 very different tallies, and here come the Crimson in the third quarter.
Great job by Ip getting to a really high percentage shooting spot.
Ip had a hat trick against Princeton last year.
Great job. Rolls back. He has it in the right hand. Rolls back to the left and just crosses up Croddick to the right side of the goal. Through their 6 games, they have 6 penalties for a total of 4 minutes and 30 seconds of penalty time. That is just tremendous.
Neither of these teams take a lot of penalties, very disciplined units. McMeekin, another face-off win. He's got 15 of them here today due to the Tigers.
Yeah.
But right back to Harvard.
Madelon, Coach Matt Madelon of Princeton, not happy about something at midfield. Call goes Harvard's way. Princeton was offsides.
Here's Sean Cameron running with the second midfield today. He's been about as consistent as you can be. 21 points each of the last 2 seasons. Just 5 points this year. They've been 5 goals in 6 games. Kramer, hands free. Tough to stop that from the big 6'5" sophomore. Quinn Kramer getting into the scoring column for the Tigers, and they've got the 4-goal lead back.
Gets around the screen. Some miscommunication on defense. You've got to get a stick on 21. Kramer lets it fly.
5:02 to go, third quarter, 4-goal Princeton lead. Trying to even up their Ivy League record. Harvard trying to go to 2-0 in the Ivy League. Chad Palumbo over top of the cage. Cameron, Kabiri with the extra pass, and there's no stopping Mackesy, man up from that spot. Natural lefty, time and space with the extra pass. Princeton's leads back up to 5.
A really, really good play by the Tigers. Palumbo gets things going. He trots behind the cage, and then it's the skip pass you're going to see here to Cameron. Then Cameron quickly to Kabiri with the right hand, gets it to the natural lefty, Mackesy.
Up top, King, 20 on the shot clock. Cortez against Miller, gets the screen from King. Draws the slide. Friedman switches over. Shot clock winding down for Harvard in the hands of Teddy Malone. Some space. Never got it on cage, so 7 on the shot clock.
7 on the shot clock for Harvard. Down 5.
Shot goes low, saved by Stevens. That was Miles Botkus in the midfield. Save number 11 for the Tigers junior.
Great
Relatively
job.
quiet day for him by comparison.
Yeah, great job by Croddick, and he's put in the position, but a bad outlet pass. He was looking for Mackesy, did not see the Crimson standing there. Was Miles Botkus with the interception.
Botkus playing center field, and he connects with Malone in transition for the Harvard goal. That was pretty from the Crimson.
Great job. All started with Botkus turning defense into offense. You talk about the ride. The ride isn't always on the offensive half of the field, right? That was call it a 70-yard pass.
Seems like it's been a 4-goal game really since that 5-0 run after Harvard took the early lead.
Yeah, really both teams just kind of treading water at that 4-goal advantage, that 4-goal gap, but Harvard has got to put some together.
Perry fights through it and finds the back of the net. Here comes Harvard. Took some contact from the Princeton defense on his way to the cage, and for Perry, the junior from Franklin, Massachusetts, he makes it a 3-goal game.
You see what happens when Harvard has the ball. They can score every time they get the ball. They need the ball. They get it there, they score quickly. 2 goals quickly. In the blink of an eye, you go from a 5-goal game to a 3-goal game. Can they go back to back to back? Let's see here.
Tigers trying to get some personnel on the field. 15 seconds to go. Here's Kramer, head of steam, running out of the box.
All day. He had no idea, and he hung his stick out there for the yard sale.
Trail check from behind, now Harvard to push. Final 5 seconds, Malone on the doorstep, the feed on the goal by Jensen. Tic-tac-toe in transition, and Harvard within 2.
Exactly what the Crimson needed. Look at the energy from the sideline. Something tells me New Jersey Transit had a lot of crimson on it coming down from Penn Station this morning.
Talked about the depth in scoring for Princeton. Finn Jensen, the junior from Virginia, his first career goal.
Can Harvard continue to close that gap and get the possessions it desperately needs? Looks like they can.
Baracco wins the face-off. Looks like it could have been a hold, but Baracco able to maintain it and get it back to his netminder, Stevens, who starts the clear. Dave, if you're, let's say, seeing college lacrosse for the first time today, this would be a fun one to watch. Shot by Dearth in transition, stick saved by Croddick.
Good shot anywhere but there. There's Mackesy.
On the doorstep for Burns and sticked aside by Stevens. 3 goals in the final 2:07 to make it a 2-goal game. 2 of those in transition. Burns has him hung up. Up top, Kramer. Shot never got there. Kabiri on the rebound with the putback. Somebody from Harvard's going to have a bruise tomorrow from stepping in front of that Kramer shot, but the putback by the Tigers. Great wherewithal on the doorstep.
Yeah, I mean, getting between Kramer and the goal is like just standing there as Derrick Henry runs at you. It's not somewhere you want to be, you know, making the NCAA tournament. But, you know, this is not a 3-team league and then everybody else, as sometimes it is. Yes, Yale has struggled a bit against expectations. Spidell shut out by Croddick, but you're not going to convince me that Yale's not going to get some league wins.
A lot of contributors on both sides. Nobody in this contest has more than 2. Top of the box. Now Malone working against Stahl. Threw it behind the back, but didn't fool Croddick, who makes his 15th save of the game. Dunphy through Kabiri. Now Cameron near side wing. Fascinating against Princeton, right? If you're Harvard, who do you pull? Kabiri takes the high pass from Burns, saved. Right back out to Burns, loose on the far sideline. Kramer keeps it, shot clock never reset. Mackesy being watched by Josta Koning, the sophomore pole. Kabiri, top side. There's Cameron, the bouncer, played the angle and gives the Tigers the 4-goal lead. You mentioned it, he's been quiet today, but right place, right time, and the Princeton lead back up to 4.
And not the shot you usually see from Cameron. Not usually time and room, not usually a bounce shot. He's usually flick of the wrist on the run, but nevertheless, 11 gets it going, and what a big goal it is. Princeton extends its lead to 4. Harvard needs possession, and they'll need some goals quick.
Nate Kabiri has the matchup he wants. Feed up top, there's Palumbo bidding for the hat trick. Going down to make the kick save is Stevens. Battle for the ball on the end line. Out of bounds, Harvard possession.
Harvard possession and a big one, huge save against an offense like Harvard. The best defense is your offense, especially against the Crimson.
Coulter Mackesy, top of the box, gets a screen, instead works it through Kabiri. Now Dunphy, Princeton cycles, Kramer shot, kick save again by Stevens. 12th save of the day by the first year from Chester, New Jersey. Timeout, Princeton. And then their final 2 non-conference games. Harvard, meanwhile, back-to-back non-conference games this week. Midweek game against 6-1 BU. They come in tough matchup against Army today, and then midweek game against Binghamton. On the doorstep, there's a hat trick. Jack Spidell, the sophomore. Nice feed from the top of the box through traffic, and Harvard back within 3.
That's a huge goal. Spidell has been a bright spot for the Harvard offense today as they get to double digits and 10 goals. He just camps out on the crease and makes it look easy.
Had a good year, did Baracco, a couple years ago. Good game, I should say, against Princeton, 115-25. Trying to get below the defense. Ball down on the turf. Bath, the first to it for the Tigers, and a huge takeaway for Princeton.
Huge ground ball for Michael Bath. Coming out of nowhere, reads it well, runs through the ball. And Jackson Green, he's done this before. He's run away with balls. He's closed games for the Tigers. No timeout. Matt Madeline wants to hold on to that last one in case he needs it.
Green gets tripled, puts it on the carpet. Harvard with the takeaway in another possession.
Yes, when you talk about
Harvard's going to say, they're going to say it was a shot. I think Matt Madelon may be arguing that it was knocked away. Ip loses his footing. Croddick stands strong. Rebound by the Crimson, but under a minute to go, down by 3 goals. They've got to hurry.
Got to shoot.
Up top, through traffic, on the doorstep, and a goal. John Arndt finding the back of the net. So another new goal scored today for the Crimson, and they're back within 2 with 45 seconds to go.
Harvard's got to win it forward. Listen, you've seen, if you're a fan of lacrosse and you follow Lacrosse X and see all the posts, you've seen the last second, right? Win it forward. You saw it at the end of the third quarter here. You can score with under 5 seconds to go.
Andrew McMeekin for the Tigers. Matt Baracco for the Crimson. He's been pretty good today. Didn't win it forward, but Harvard able to carry it forward. Coming off the face-off wing, the shot attempt by Jordan. His stick was lifted.
And no hold. And he fell on him. Wow.
30 seconds left. Harvard running out of the box. Here's Malone. Looking to get it to Botkiss, and now Ip with a head of steam. Under 20 seconds to go. Ip has it knocked away. Bath with a beat on it, shovels it to his goalie, and that should do it.
From Princeton, you got to cheap this against this ride. Just throw it, call it a day, and move to 1-1 in Ivy League play.